Hey guys, it's me, Mrs. Star, for your next lesson 1.5 Basic Constructions. So I'm kind of excited about this because guess what I found? Look at this. I found our book online. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I hope that's just as exciting to you as it is to me because I like having this because we don't have enough books. Anyway, back to here. What you see on this page is what I want to see in your whisk, just to let you know that. When I click over to the book, you don't have to write all of this stuff because it's available online to you, and I put this link in a post on Edmodo for you so you can find the book. Anyway, basic constructions. The first thing we're going to talk about is constructing segments and angles. So I do want you to write this definition. All that construction is using a straight edge, a ruler with no markings. I don't care if it has markings or not, just a straight edge. And a compass, a geometric tool used to draw circles and parts of circles called arcs to draw a geometric figure. If you don't have a compass yet because you didn't see my note on Edmodo, you will need one for a class. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is constructing, sorry, I didn't mean to scroll up, congruent segments. Now, the first thing I did was I tried to draw one myself because in your book, this is what it shows, and it's so neat, and I thought, ooh, I can draw that. So, you draw a segment, you've got a segment here, and you want to draw a congruent one. So you draw a ray with an endpoint, and then you open your compass to the length of this segment that you're given, AB. And with the compass setting, put the compass on your point that you drew for your ray, and draw an arc through it, like this picture right here. And that arc is going to intersect your ray, and if you label it D, there is your congruent segment. So I do want you to draw what I did right here. And that's the last drawing that I tried. I went and found pictures online for my next one. So that's how you'll use your compass to draw a congruent segment. So if I flip over here to my book, I can ask you a question. This is super cool. So our first question is, given that segment XY, which shows the construction of another segment RS so that RS is twice as long as XY? Take a look. Hopefully you are saying B, because RS is twice as long as XY. And we'll check it. And woohoo! We got it right. See how much I'm going to love this? Alright, the next part of our lesson is how to construct congruent angles. And yes, I do want you to draw this. I can't draw something like this on my pad. It's too hard. So, but you should be able to draw this on paper. These are the steps. And so if you need to pause this, you can, the steps to draw a congruent angle. But I'm going to flip over to your book and show you what it looks like here, and read the steps to you. You don't have to write these steps down. You're given an angle A, and you're asked to draw a congruent angle S. So what you're going to do, you're going to draw a ray with an endpoint right here, and put your compass at point A, and draw an arc that intersects the sides of angle A, and label your intersections point B and C. And then with the same compass setting, you're going to put the compass point on point S and draw an arc and label its point of intersection with the ray as R. And then you're going to open the compass to the length of BC, keeping the same compass setting, this length up here, and then put the compass on point R and draw an arc to locate point T. And then you're going to have to draw a ray, and then there you have your angle. So if you're like me and you think, what in the world, that doesn't make any sense, I found a little illustration for you. So here's what we're talking about. So you're asked to construct a copy of this. So mark a point P, that's what you did first, and draw a ray PQ in any direction and any length, doesn't matter. This will be one side of your new angle. So there it's being drawn. Then you're going to set the compass point on A and adjust it to any convenient width. Just like that. We'll be doing this in class. Then you're going to draw an arc. Whoops. I should have read that first. Draw an arc across both sides of the angle, creating points J and K. And there it goes. Then you're going to move the compass to P, your new ray here, and draw a similar arc crossing PQ at M. That just means they're going to label that point M. Now set the compass on K and set its width to J. Just like this, just like that picture. Move the compass to M and draw an arc crossing the first and creating the point L. So here's how it looks. Just like that. So now you have your new point. And then you're going to draw a ray PR from P through L. And you're done. So now you have your new angle RPQ that has the same measure as BAC. And if we need to, we can watch this video in class while we're drawing them. So we'll go back to the book. And here's a question about that. Given an angle B, which shows the construction of angle F such that the measure of angle F is twice the measure of angle B. And hopefully when you looked at this, you thought, ooh, it's going to be C, because it's twice the length. Excellent. Woohoo! Good job. All right, I'm going to move on to the second objective, and you will draw this because this is how you draw congruent angles. But our next thing we're going to talk about is perpendicular lines. Y'all probably know what those are already. This is simple. Two lines that intersect to form right angles. And we already learned that a right angle is 90 degrees. And so this is how you would draw it and label it. AB, line AB is perpendicular to line CD. I go back to our book. This is how they show it to you in the book. All right, the next we're going to talk about how do you construct a perpendicular bisector. Now what you're going to draw in your notes is this right here, and you'll see why in a minute because I'm going to show you a little demonstration. A perpendicular bisector is a line, segment, or ray that is perpendicular to the segment at its midpoint so that the segments are now congruent. All right, and I found a great example of this. So, first step, place the compass point at one end of this line. Adjust the compass to just over half the length of the line. And then without adjusting the compass width, draw an arc on each side of the line. So watch this. And that's kind of what this part is, except it shows the whole thing. All right, the next step We'll do it on the other side. Draw a straight line between the two arc intersections. The line is perpendicular bisector of PQ now. So that's how you would do it with a compass. Alright, so knowing that, if we look at this question, which of these shows the construction of the perpendicular bisector of segment ST? And we know it has to cross here and here, so it has to be B. Yay! Alright, last thing we're going to talk about is an angle bisector. So if I move it down here, this one's kind of big. An array that divides an angle into two congruent coplanar angles. Its endpoint is at the angle vertex, and within the ray, a segment with the same endpoint is also an angle bisector. Alright, this is what I want you to draw in your notes. That ray AX is the bisector of angle CAB. So you can pause that and do that. I'm going to go on and show you, this down here is the construction of the angle bisector, but I've found a video for those of you that, like me, it's hard to read this and understand exactly what they're talking about. So, woohoo, here it is. So, our goal is to construct a line that bisects this angle. You're going to place the compass point on the angle's vertex, which is Q, and set the compass to any convenient width. There's what they've chosen. And draw an arc that across each of the legs. Now, the compass can be adjusted at this point if desired. And from where an arc crosses a leg, make an arc in the angle's interior. And then without changing the compass width, repeat it for another leg. The other leg, not another leg, the only one you have. Haha. Now you're going to draw a line from the vertex Q to where the arcs cross. Right there in the middle. And voila! You have an angle bisector. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool to find these. For me, it is. Alright, and that's right here. So if I check our understanding right here, this question asks us which shows the construction. Let me move it down a little bit more if I can. Whoops, I will in a second. Of the bisector YP of an obtuse angle XYZ. Alright. It has to be YP bisector, so it's either A or C. It can't be this one. This is ZP. Well, that's not an obtuse angle. That's smaller than 90 degrees. This is an obtuse angle. And it's XYZ. It has to be C. Oh, and I'm so sorry. I just noticed I didn't give you a chance to answer that before I told you right out loud. Hopefully you followed my reasoning. So remember, this is what I want you to draw. And there's one last thing. Anything on this screen right here, the smooth draw screen, I want you to have in your notes, in your whisk. I do want to show you this. If we move up here, we will have to use some algebra sometimes to find the measures of angles. So this says if this KN bisects this angle JKL, and if JKN is equal to 5x minus 25, this one right here, and NKL, this angle, is equal to 3x plus 5, we're asked to solve for x. Well, we know it's an angle bisector, so this has to equal that. So you can set it equal to each other, do some fancy algebra to find that x equals 15. And when you put 15 in for x here and here, you'll see that the angle equals 50. So knowing that this angle equals 50, could we answer this question? Find the measure of angle NKL. Well, we know that's 50. And the measure of JKL, that's the whole thing. We know the bisector is 50. So what is the entire angle? Well, it's doubled. It has to be 100. So 50 is the small one and 100 is the big one. All right, I know this is a lot of stuff, and remember that we're going to take 2 days at least on this lesson, and we'll do more if necessary, but what's on this part of the video is what needs to be in your notes. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.